You are born second. That is the first and most important fact of your life. Your brother will inherit the earth. You will inherit the shadow. Your childhood unfolds inside a compound the outside world has never photographed from the inside. The gardens are maintained by a crew that arrives before sunrise and leaves before you wake. You never see them. You only see the results. Hedges trimmed to exact geometrical shapes, paths swept clean of every fallen leaf. The staff inside the house is trained to move through rooms without making sound. They do not make eye contact. Growing up, you think this is how all houses work. You have 6 private tutors from age 5. Your schedule is produced every Sunday and placed on your desk for the week. Deviating from it requires a conversation with your father's household coordinator, a man who has never once smiled at you. You learn Mandarin by age 7. You learn the official history of your country in the voice of absolute certainty, the way other children are taught that the sky is blue. You absorb it the same way. You have no other sky to compare it to. You are 8 years old the first time you watch someone disappear. Not physically. A man who stood in photographs is simply no longer in photographs. The adults don't explain. You don't ask. Asking is something you have already learned not to do. You are 13. They are preparing to send you abroad. Switzerland is the preferred destination. Discreet, unquestioning. Your cover identity is constructed over 6 months. You are the child of a mid-level trade official. Your name on the enrollment documents is close enough to your real name that you will answer to it naturally, different enough that a search won't surface your family. You arrive in Bern in October. Your dormitory room is 12 square meters, a bed, a desk, a window facing a courtyard. After the compound, it should feel small. Instead, it feels like the first room that has ever actually belonged to you. Your handler lives 400 meters from the school. Every Sunday, you go to his apartment for lunch, and he reviews what you said that week, who you spoke to, whether anything requires correction. He is not unkind. He is simply always present. A second shadow attached to the first shadow you were born into. The school has a library open until 10 p.m. No one monitors which books you take. You read everything you are not supposed to read. History told from outside. News from outside. Novels in which characters make decisions based entirely on what they want. You sit in that library for 2 hours every night, and for the first time in your life, no one knows exactly where you are or what you are thinking. This is the closest thing to freedom you will ever feel. A boy in your class argues with a teacher about a grade, loudly, in front of everyone. Nothing happens to him. You watch this and feel something you don't have a word for in any of the 3 languages you speak. You are 17 when the call comes. Your father is unwell. Return immediately. You pack your room in 2 hours. Your roommate's face shows pure, uncomplicated sympathy, the kind that requires no calculation. You accept it. You remember the texture of it. You don't look back when you walk out, because you already know that if you look back, you will understand something that will make the rest of your life harder to survive. You don't pack your school uniform. You already know you won't need it. You are 20. Your father is dead. Your brother sits in the chair now, 28 years old, surrounded by generals who served your father and are watching him the way a man watches a bridge he isn't sure will hold his weight. You understand something the generals don't. You are not a threat. You are an extension, an arm your brother can reach into rooms he cannot enter himself. A leader must be immovable. You can be sharp. A leader must be mythological. You can be precise. The 2 of you are different instruments in one composition. You begin inside the propaganda and agitation department. Every broadcast, every newspaper, every photograph that enters or exits the country passes through this apparatus first. You sit in review meetings and study the architecture. Which images are released to the foreign press and why? Which words are approved for official statements? Which history is being rewritten this quarter and in which direction? You learned that controlling language is more powerful than controlling movement. You can lock a border, and people will still dream of the other side. But if you control every word a person has ever heard used to describe the other side, you can make the dream itself impossible to form clearly. You are approving broadcast scripts by the end of your first year, foreign-facing statements by the end of your second. You are 22 years old. You are editing the terms in which 25 million people understand their own existence. You are 27. The old generals have stopped underestimating you. This happened gradually, then all at once. An official had spoken to a foreign journalist in unapproved terms. The conversation was recorded. The transcript crossed your desk on a Tuesday morning. You read it once. You signed. The official was dealt with. You moved to the next item on your agenda. The generals noticed, not what you signed, but what your face looked like when you signed it. They started returning your calls that same afternoon. You become the regime's fury. When your brother needs to send a message too aggressive for his voice, too deniable for the official record, it comes from you. You draft statements that trigger emergency briefings in 3 foreign ministries simultaneously. You authorize the missile test timed to humiliate a summit, the statement crafted to rupture a negotiation. You understand that the outside world's need to believe you might eventually moderate is itself a lever. You pull it at precise intervals. You have no salary, no bank account in any name. What you have is access. A car when you need a car, a plane when you need a plane, anything the regime can import. The concept of wanting something you cannot have has been engineered out of your daily life so completely that you occasionally wonder what it would feel like to want something the way ordinary people want things. To want it without having it arrive. You don't explore that thought for long. You are 32. Your brother disappears from public view for 6 weeks. Foreign intelligence services are photographing hospital parking lots from satellites. Analysts are speculating on television in ways they would normally never permit themselves. You are not speculating. You are governing. The decisions flow through you. Military posture, economic policy, personnel. You are receiving his briefings, making his calls, sending the signals the outside world watches for. Every decision propagates outward through the apparatus and lands in the life of someone you will never see. You sign a food distribution order, and someone in a province 400 kilometers north eats something different next week. You approve a security crackdown, and a family attempting to cross the border does not attempt it. The scale is not abstract to you. It is arithmetic. You are accurate at arithmetic. Your brother returns. You step back, but not all the way back. Intelligence services in Virginia and Seoul and Beijing have updated their files. You are no longer a footnote in the section about the leader's family. You are a primary subject. Analysts are mapping the edges of your power. The edges are not where they think they are. You are 38. You have more operational authority than most heads of government on this planet. You can end a career with a phone call. You can make foreign ministries convene emergency meetings with a paragraph. Private aircraft, multiple residences, access to anything the sealed country can import from the world outside its walls. You also have this. You cannot leave. Not the way your dormitory roommate could leave. Walk out on a Sunday afternoon with no destination, no handler, simply exist in the world without being anyone's extension. You remember the library that was open until 10 p.m. You remember sitting in it for 2 hours with no one watching. That was 23 years ago. You remember it with a precision that surprises you. The color of the chair, the sound of the heating system, the specific quality of being temporarily unaccounted for. You have not been unaccounted for since. You sit in a meeting with 6 generals who are afraid of you. They agree with everything you say. You have not had a conversation in years in which someone pushed back. You cannot remember the last time someone argued with you the way that boy argued with his teacher, loudly, without calculation, without first checking whether it was survivable. You are not sure whether you miss it or whether you have simply become incapable of it. You are not old, but you are tired in a way that has no remedy. There is no exit from this. People like you do not retire. The only versions of the end of your story are already written. You outlast the regime and face what comes after, which history suggests is not an ordinary afternoon. Or the regime outlasts you, and someone writes your official biography in the same mythological grammar your childhood tutor used for your grandfather. Either way, no library, no 10 p.m., no unguarded window, no boy arguing about a grade for no reason except that he believed he was right. You have spent your life as the most powerful woman in the most isolated country on earth. You have shaped reality for 25 million people. You have made governments flinch. You have survived everything: the compound, the exile, the return, the purges, the weight of the machine that runs through you. But you have never finished the sentence that begins, "If I could leave." You never let yourself finish it. An unfinished thought cannot be recorded, cannot be used against you. This is the last discipline, the one thing the apparatus cannot reach. Tonight, somewhere in that compound, a girl is born second. She will receive her first weekly schedule before she can read it. She will have tutors she cannot question, and a floor she cannot visit. She will learn the mythology in the voice of absolute certainty. She will be sent to Switzerland, and she will come back. She will learn to file things away in rooms she does not open. She will become the shadow. She will think it is training. She will be right.